All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another show of that crypto gaming show, the ultimate crypto gaming show, and with that big announcement, we have been officially ghosted by the one and only Jake, so we're going to be going ahead and doing a solo stream. Isn't that very spicy? We'll be touching base on Gala, on me, and I'm going to be honest with you, we had absolutely no schedule for this stream. We were just going to talk about Web3 gaming, so if he ends up showing up, we'll talk about that and more. If you enjoy this kind of content, we'll have a bit of a little Viber chat here. Maybe we'll touch base on everything I was going to talk about. But before I get into it, I do have to toot my own horn here. We've officially launched Legion.gg. This has been in the making for the longest time. Woo! Everybody celebrate. Everybody's very hyped for it. The ultimate crypto gaming hub. My initiative to double down on community building and providing value to everyone that has supported the journey. And that's why the show must go on. Because if you guys have waited long enough, we have to have something for you. We're gonna have alpha, whitelist, allocation, masterminds, conquering the latest games, and more. Top 4 in the United States on Heroes of Mavia. One of the top blockchain games out there with Roy Boy, which is a bit of a Gala meme. I know that Gala was talking a little bit about memes, and we all love participating in that. So we got the little eye emojis here. So I think what I want to do for this stream is let's talk about community. Let's talk about the situation that happened. Well, what I was hoping was that we would talk about the situation with Gala back in the day, maybe my own personal experience on being a non-chain agnostic creator versus a chain agnostic creator these days. You know, being loyal to one chain, let's be honest, it's a little toxic. You know, when you rely with someone for a little bit too much, you know, you got to pay your rent, everything, just that one person. And it's like, if he doesn't do his job, I am screwed, or he or she, right? I'm screwed. That was kind of the case. And I think being chain agnostic, really opening up your horizons, is a lot better for a lot of people. You're in the call. Get in here, boy. You're not in the call. You're ghosting. Did it send a Google Meet? Oh, don't go on the Google Meet. Go on the StreamYard, on the description. Come, my friend. Anyway, he will come. He will come and we'll talk about Gala. So, I'll just talk about it a little bit by myself right now. My camera won't focus. Your beautiful head. I'm in the Google Meet. Get out of the Google Meet. Get on the StreamYard. Anyway, so Bitbender's been talking a lot about deflationary tokenomics. And to be honest with you, as someone that has been investing into a lot of tokens lately, I have always been very confused on why tokens pump so much with specific narratives surrounding burns. I used to cover this cryptocurrency called Terra Luna Classic. And on Terra Luna Classic, the only thing that people cared about at the time was burns. We're going to burn the supply to $1. That was like the big narrative. But the price was so far away from $1 that you'd have to burn like 99.9% of the supply to be able to get there. And while that may be achievable for some cryptocurrencies, for other cryptocurrencies, it is not so achievable, specifically on Lunk. And so they've been burning something around like 0.0001%. And talking about burning, we got onchain Gaming here. What's good, buddy?
Yo, can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, You're blurry, though.
Dude, do you see this?
We're going to have to go through with the blurry face. I was telling you.
45 minutes, like freaking attaching my lens and unattaching it, going through settings and troubleshooting.
I swear to God. Okay. You're throwing. All good.
Oh my God.
I was telling you, I was making the thumbnail and I saw your face. You were like, you had your little face going on there. I'm like, it's fucking blurry. Your camera's scuffed. You need to get a new camera, bro. What are you using?
This is like a $3,000 camera.
The $3,000. You're rugged.
Dude,
rugged. And he's gone. What's the POV on the Jake setup these days? It's kind of the same. Yeah, you haven't moved. It's just a room you have on your room. How was it like not covering any content for 6 months and then just watching that room being vacant?
It was depressing, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was traveling mostly, so I didn't really see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was this guy. We had this meme where there was a community manager we had. POV hand. A community manager that we had. What the fuck is going on?
It's scuffed, bro.
Okay. Anyway, we had a community manager, and when we asked him to do announcements, he'd always say he's in the Bahamas. So very interesting little narrative there, but it's okay. It's okay. I guess we can talk with Blurry Jake today, Mr. Onchain.
Bro, I'm so
You need your sound. You need your sound engineer, bro. That's what it is.
I need somebody. I need somebody.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You got to put the lights. You know, I can tune it up too. Maybe I could just be a little bit too bright.
No,
It'll make you feel better.
You can't fix broken. You just can't, fix
broken. I agree. And let's get into it. Okay, broken things. Let's talk about Gala. Broken things. Apparently, I don't know if you were ever excited about burns, but I will be honest, I got a lot of views on YouTube when I talked about burns, and I don't really give a shit about burns these days. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that they don't really do anything for blockchains. I think they're kind of useless, and if you're recycling tokens, it is something that is not going to actually bring adoption to a chain. The number one thing that I've noticed with new crypto games coming out is when people actually play, I don't care if it's botted users or not, just, you know, square up, you know what I mean? This is fucking scuffed. Okay,
dude. If it's not a real burn, then it doesn't matter. If it is a real burn, then it's different. But if you're talking specifically about Gala burns,
there are a lot of things we could burn Gala with. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if the coins are just, dude, I can't. If the coins are just going back into the supply,
just yell. Yeah, it's good.
Just stand in the back and yell.
Blow your vocal cords. Like a fucking news announcer.
Dude, I've literally been working on trying to get this camera to focus so much that I don't even have my own stream setup yet.
Let's fucking go. That's exactly what we're looking for in Web3 gaming. When we provide timelines and roadmaps, but we never actually make it. That is the thing that I'm always most excited for when it comes to blockchain gaming.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess fuck this topic. Let's just talk about something else. So, let's talk about your journey here. Like, how are you alive right now? Like, it's been 6 months. You haven't existed on the internet. Aren't you supposed to be on the internet? Isn't that what people do nowadays? Or are there other things to life, apparently?
Bro, there's a lot more to life than the internet, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. However, when you're on the internet and you're scuffed, then it feels like the only thing right now. Okay, sorry. Take me off for a second. Go freestyle for like 2 minutes. Let me get my stream. Let me get my stream set up. I'm gonna.
You're funny.
Bring it. I'm gonna bring it live.
You need to enable autofocus. Yeah, you do. You do need to do that.
Dude,
I use autofocus and it works perfectly fine.
Autofocus won't work. Like it says lens is not freaking compatible with autofocus, which is not true because I've been using freaking autofocus on this lens for like 3 years. And
today was the day it broke.
And it won't switch to manual focus either. So I can't even manually focus it because I'm like not moving that much. I could manually focus it to here. But like I switched the lens to manual focus. I switched the freaking thing to manual focus. And it just literally will not. It's like locked into focusing on the back wall. And no matter what I do, it will not fix itself. Like,
it's okay. We're doing a throwback to 2021 blockchain gaming graphics. It's fine. It's the same. It's like the crypto raiders of the time. It's a totally normal, stylized camera. You're going with the times. You know, I'm a little bit more Neo. We love Neo. We love both perspectives, vintage Neo.
Just keep me small. Keep yourself large. The whole time.
Keep myself large. All right, sure.
Yeah, keep me small.
It's like a PFP. Yeah, scale it down, and eventually people don't notice.
Maybe people won't realize how scuffed my
Okay, it's fine. We could get past it. Okay, let's talk about the damn blockchain. Okay. So tell me, okay, you left 6 months ago. What the hell happened? Where's your head at now? Like, give us the rundown. Where's your head at with blockchain gaming and everything in between? You don't need to fix the camera now. It's okay.
I'm just going live.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna have to hella edit this.
No, it's live. We are literally live.
No. I mean, like once the VOD's up, you just gotta cut all the rest of this out. For all the live viewers, I don't care. I don't care
He
about.
doesn't care. Okay, I'll do something by myself. It's all good. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
So anyway,
I'll be ready in a minute.
you just exist. Just exist. All right.
I just
Anyway,
exist.
boys. So here's a Mavia recently reached 50,000 on-chain holders in 7 days since their launch. And I thought that was pretty interesting because you look at the downloads on the Google Play Store and you see a very different number. You see something like 1.5 million downloads across all app stores, 50,000 holders on their token. And I think for a lot of people, there's going to be this argument where it's like, are all these tokens even necessary for gameplay? To me, the answer should be no. The token should never be a necessity. Maybe it's an additive to the quote-unquote decentralization, which is a facade. Everybody knows everything's centralized. The decentralization of a blockchain gaming, where the investors and the advisors and everybody in between still has a lot of the tokens. But anyway, like, that's a totally different conversation. They had 50,000 on-chain holders, and that's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of holders. I look at stuff like Baby Dogecoin and some of these meme coins, and they've got a bunch of bots with their little BNB chain. Everybody loves the fake transactions there, which I saw you made a video on DApp Radar, and I was like, dude, please. Don't meme me. Like, DApp Radar is the biggest meme in the entire blockchain
DApp Radar's
space.
a meme?
They're a total meme. All those numbers they're not accurate at all.
Yeah, it's all a scam.
It's all a scam.
I got my boom mic over here now, so I can just stand back here. And we can pretend everything.
Are you gonna start singing? Do you know how to sing?
Yeah, I know how to sing.
All right, give us something.
All right. Oh man, my voice isn't warm for this. My voice isn't warm for. Okay, here we go. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I mean, my voice isn't warm for it, but
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Standing ovation. Standing ovation.
I think I am, but
I don't know if you're live on your channel. Who? Everybody's rioting right now.
Who cares about the?
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Okay.
Everybody rise up.
Let's be serious now. Let's be serious. Okay. So I had to take a break. I had to take a break from the space. Have you heard the saying, if you live for the cheers, you'll die by the booze?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty much what happened to me. I was living for the cheers, and when 90% of the comment section turned into booze, I got into a bad mental place, and I just couldn't. I was like, I just need to take a break from this. I'm not having fun. No one thinks I'm providing value.
You were kind of shitting on everyone. Yeah.
I have been backstabbed by my biggest supporters monetarily and viewer wise. And I was not 100% right in the situation either. Like, my own perspectives were, in hindsight, corrupted by the desire for profit. And in the moment, I didn't think that is what was happening, but I was looking through rose-colored glasses because of the monetary support that I was getting. And in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, I lost my ability to be balanced. I lost my ability to actually provide balanced coverage of the space, because you don't bite the hand that feeds you. But when that hand stops feeding you, and you realize that you haven't been being honest about some of what's going down, and you start to be honest, and people are like, you changed your perspective. Why you hate them now? You hate them just because they stopped funding you. And I do think there was a little bit of resentment for sure, but I was like trying to make up for the lack of honesty that I was giving for, like, I mean, hundreds of videos. As far as just like, I do still think that, like, Gala's doing a lot of cool stuff, and crypto gaming is still the future of gaming, but it was not as accurate as it could have been, for sure.
Yeah, that's a good take. That's a good take. I mean, generally speaking, we all got shit on by being maxis for onchain. I don't think it's ever worked out for anybody except the Ron maxis. Apparently it just keeps working out for them to keep winning, keep taking dubs until one day they get abandoned, like, dad goes grab something. But my opinion here is it's hard to be an unbiased content creator. No matter what, we're humans. We're going to be biased one way or another. No matter how you try to explain it to yourself, we're not news anchors. I'm not trying to be a news anchor. And I think a lot of what was like classy crypto or classy games back in the day was like, oh, I'm trying to be the unbiased Gala source. And we're just lying to each other. I am biased as all hell. When I was getting paid by Gala, when I was out there playing the games religiously and spending too much time doing it and talking to people within the ecosystem, we were absolutely biased toward this ecosystem. None of what we were doing was unbiased by any stretch of the imagination. We were still able to provide value other people couldn't, because not a lot of people felt like actually interacting with a chain that had absolutely no players. Spider Tanks had, I think, a couple thousand people at some point, which was fun. Yeah. So shout out to Spider Tanks. I actually spoke to Spider King, I think a week ago, when the Gala situation happened with me. I don't know if he reached out to you, but that guy's dope. I love Spider King.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Spider King, but I do want to say, like, even news commentators are not unbiased. Like every single thing that you watch has an agenda. And yeah, I don't care if it's freaking about like evening news or CNN or Fox or CNBC. Every single Twitter account that you watch, like, there is not a such thing as an unbiased person. Like, we all have backgrounds, we all have perspectives, we all have things that affect our view. We all have incentives. We all have like goals for the way that we think the world should be. And every single person that you're listening to, and you yourself, if you're being honest with yourself, are not unbiased. So yeah, I have no idea if my audio levels are.
It's great. It's great. Just yell into it.
Just scream.
Let the world know. Just
scream it into the mic.
Yeah, scream it to the microphone. Yeah, there's a lot of bias in content. And so, you know, when you got dropped by Gala, you made a sponsored video. It had tokens on it, because I remember you had deliverables. I was on a retainer for, I think, a month with Gala in January before the February thing happened, so got a cuck there. But during that time, I think we had a couple deliverables. We had to do a couple videos per month, and that was essentially it. During one of those videos, you had a sponsored take on tokens. What is your take on the crypto segment and the gaming segment when somebody is sponsored? Is it possibly a risk vector for American companies to have their creators talking about tokens in crypto gaming?
Okay, so I mean, that's the official reason why Gala let go of both of us, right?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, that we were talking about cryptos and they don't want to be sued.
Yes.
Which I do think, like, I mean, the biggest risk of lawsuit is a lawsuit from Gala towards anyone else. But I think because they're so ready to sue, like, that's why they're so afraid of lawsuits. But here's the deal. The problem with the crypto space right now, a lot of it, at the very least, has nothing to do with the fact that creators are talking about coins. It has to do with the fact that it's just so new and so unregulated that no one actually knows, like, what is the correct path to go down here. Like, if you look at the normal equity market, like stocks, like, it's been around for over 100 years. So companies know what the legal requirements are. They know what they're allowed to pay for. They know what they have to disclose. And right now in the crypto space, I just think it's dangerous for a creator or a company to talk about coins at all, because we have no idea what the financial health of any of these companies are. And that's something that, like, I just talked about in my, like, I made a video just talking about, like, the real issues, like the dark truth behind crypto gaming. One of the issues, besides the lack of decentralization in all of these ecosystems, which is a real issue, is the fact that, like, as a creator, and this is one of the reasons I took a break too. This is one of the reasons I'm like, I'm just going to travel to Asia. I'm going to go to Japan, Hong Kong, Vietnam. I'm just going to, like, freaking go see the world and take a break from the internet for a minute, is because I didn't feel like I could actually offer any insight into which of these games we're going to live and which we're going to die, because I can't see what the runways of these companies are. I don't know what their burn rates are. I don't know how much cash they have. I don't know if I'm going to freaking make a bullish video about a game and then literally the next day that company's going to announce that they're closing down, and I'm going to look like a freaking idiot who has no idea what they're talking about, because there's no regulation, no insight, no visibility. And, like, buying coins of these game companies right now, it's like, you got to just trust the team, right? You have to trust the team. You have to trust they're not just going to scam you, or even that they're just not incompetent. Like, they have good intentions, but they're so incompetent that, you know, it's just not going to work out, even though they want it to work out. And then when a team starts backstabbing you, and then like a lot of the members of that team that you really like start leaving because they disagree with leadership, and that sort of stuff starts happening, and you start to lose your confidence in the leadership team, it's like, now not only do I not know what the situation is actually like behind the scenes as far as finances go, but now I don't even know if I trust like the people that are behind this anymore. And then when you like are honest about it, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you freaking turned on all of us. We hate you now. You made us buy this stuff, and now you're saying you don't know anymore." Yeah, I was like, I just need to take a big break. I don't freaking know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good reason on my videos I never owned the damn token. I was like, fuck all this. I wasn't even going through with the whole Materium thing with the 1% supply. I was like, guys, I ain't buying this token. I don't cover the ecosystem because they might produce something at some point. And there were a couple good trade flipping opportunities, but man,
I still own over 1% of Materium.
Why? Why are you doing that?
Because my heart.
They haven't even gone through with the fucking white paper on this thing.
Following my heart.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it can go well or it can go terribly wrong, for investing's sake. But following my heart of every single game that I have seen, researched, dived into, which I have done probably hundreds of games in the crypto space that I've looked into.
Too many.
I have not found a single game that gets me as excited for the future of Web3 as Mirandus. Like,
no, please don't say that. Please don't say that. You're gonna quit. You're gonna quit in a month.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Like,
there are plenty of great games out there. You play Mavia, play fucking Big Time, play Boom Hunter games. Like, get out.
The first game that I played as a kid that I got really into was Call of Duty, and I started a channel called COD by Night.
Okay.
And that channel got to like 30,000 subscribers, and then it got deleted because I was leaking COD Zombies gameplay for a game that was not released, and Activision got YouTube to take down my channel.
Okay.
So after that, the next game that I really fell in love with was an MMO. And I realized that MMOs are like the pinnacle of gaming. Like you can have pretty much any style of gameplay in an MMO. Like, it can be a shooter, it can be a freaking action game, it can be a puzzle. Like, an MMO can, but it's just like massive multiplayer online. I want other people in it. I want people who actually care about the world. So just as a gamer, my heart is with massive multiplayer online role-playing games. That's where my heart is. So yeah, there's a lot of cool games out there, but an actual immersive world is what I want. A place where like you can start from nothing, build up your reputation, like actually matter in the world. Like, I don't know if you ever played the game Guild Wars. I have
religiously.
Like, when I was, I think 14 or 15, I started my first guild in that game. And like growing that guild and like having officers, and we'd freaking have like guild meetings in our guild hall, and like we were like literally taking over territory in the main map with our alliance, and then like all your guild members get discounts in those cities, and it like felt like we were actually making an impact on this virtual world, and like our name mattered there. And I don't know, it was so cool. Now, an MMO has never been as impactful or as in-depth or as incredible as the real world. But one thing that can bring the level of just epic awesomeness to MMOs up to another level is the blockchain. And that's why I first got excited about the blockchain, because like Guild Wars has a true economy in it. And like the price of things changes and fluctuates, but overall it's very balanced. And I was like, man, if the Guild Wars currency, and I think people who played like World of Warcraft or something kind of get this same exact feeling. If the currency in this balanced epic economy was a real currency, like it would just get that next level of realism, which is like it's what MMOs need to go to the next level. Like MMOs used to be awesome. Now they're honestly it's a niche genre now. Like MMOs are not the most popular thing. Like, and I played freaking tons of League of Legends. I know you played a lot of League of Legends as well. Like I gave a decade or more of my life to League of Legends. Some months like spending 16 hours a day on that game. But still, as fun as that gameplay is, and as fun as it was to improve in a skill level, like I like MMOs still have my heart, and moving to the blockchain can make MMOs the most popular genre once again. And of all the MMOs out there, the one that I still believe in the most is Mirandus. And people can hate me for that or not. And I don't know if I have faith in the Gala leadership or not, but I still have faith in McCarthy. I still have faith in that Mirandus team. And that's why I own 1% of Materium, even though I have no freaking idea what the tokenomics of that coin are going to be like. And if I lose $40,000 on that bet, then so be it. I lose $40,000 on that bet, but that's why I own over 1% of the supply of Materium. And
your due diligence is, I like MMOs. I'm praying that McCarthy can execute, and so I will spend $40,000 to buy up 1% of the supply. Yes,
supply right now, the current supply times the price per token, it's like a $2 million market cap or something.
Yeah, because we don't know if they're gonna mint 3 trillion coins randomly out of nowhere.
Yeah, but I trust. Yeah, you're right. I have no idea. Like that.
No idea. Like, that's the fucking problem. There's too many questions with Mirandus. Don't you like tokenomic structures where people are earning all of the in-game currency inside of the damn game? But the thing is, like, you were talking about how everybody starts fresh in these MMOs, but that's like not the case in blockchain gaming. Right now, as it stands, people buy all kinds of different things. The Duke Citadels, the little granaries, farms, the drunken taverns that you used to have. All that stuff you can purchase before the game even starts. You can monopolize everything. So fully on-chain MMOs just don't work when you have people like that. And even then, maybe everybody starts in the same level playing field. Just pay a bunch of people to play the game for you and get the resources to get ahead of people. So no matter what, even if you try to escape your fantasies, you're still going to run into the same issues that everybody in the real world is having. And that's why MMOs as a genre, when you're not in a fixed environment that has fixed gains like League of Legends, you know, there's a fixed amount of gold, amount every wave, etc., there are penalties. It's really hard to make it work. So I don't know how the hell blockchain gaming is going to make it work. There are a couple of companies that have had some success, but I don't know what the long-term prospects are for this when the supply gets closer to fully unlocked.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch the topic. Well, no, I'm gonna keep the topic going, but I'm gonna just like change the take a little bit here.
Okay.
Or adjust the aspect that I
adjust the take. All right.
So I agree with you that. And sorry about my focus, guys. I was working on it for an hour, and I literally just can't.
Just screw it. Who cares? Who cares?
MMOs, you're right, are very complicated to make. Like of all the types of games, and like every single type of game is difficult to make and takes like so many hours from so many developers and iteration upon iteration because the first version is never that good. And to make like a virtual world, which is pretty much what a massive multiplayer online game is, to make a virtual world that's decent at all, I mean, it takes so much thought, so much planning, so much actual effort as well. Like if
I love it. I love it.
You compare an MMO to the real world. Like think about how in-depth, how complicated the real world is. All right.
Okay.
And I'm going somewhere that you're not going to expect here. All right. So MMOs take so much planning, so much effort, so many hours, and most of them still suck. All right. The real world is far more complicated than that. What would I tell you? Or what would you tell me if I told you that the greatest MMO that ever gets made is going to happen because of an accident where a computer gets like caught in this cosmic storm and freaking there's like a tornado that's going through like Blizzard, all right? And it's just like all the code, just like there's like freaking like a lightning strike or something. And somehow this like brand new MMO pops out that no one actually spent any time designing. Would you
ChatGPT just...
Would you believe that's possible?
but I believe that's possible, my
Yeah.
friend. Anything is possible. The fact that we're here talking about blockchain gaming with who even knows how many subscribers able to do this full time, that is a miracle of
Yeah,
God.
that is a miracle. But
Yeah.
like, there's no way without any planning, without any coding, without any effort and like art and like you just think about all the aspects that go into making a game. There is no way that a game like that could just come out randomly. All right.
Oh no, there is. Think about it. Psychedelics are on the rise. Drugs, people will go ahead and argue against them all day. But people have taken shrooms before and done some very innovative things. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
at some point, some Californian's going to come up with something.
It's still an intelligent mind though that's coming up with this MMO.
Yes. They have to be intelligent. So not in crypto right now.
If there was no intelligence, I mean, like you wouldn't even like imagine you didn't even have the computers or anything. Like freaking imagine this happened for a caveman. All right. Like all of a sudden, like there's all the resources that go into a computer. And freaking a tornado goes through like a caveman village, and all of a sudden there's a computer made, there's a game designed on it. Like this isn't gonna happen.
It's just the game is designed. Okay.
I mean,
just all of a sudden he has 1 million Bitcoin on his account. Like, what would you do?
Okay, what did it be designed, right? But it just appeared. Like, is that possible?
No. Okay, that part is a little sus. But it doesn't matter. It could be possible because anything is possible. And if the sun randomly decides to make a computer and begin playing blockchain games and making it on YouTube, then I would cop. I would watch. I would watch for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm sure the caveman would watch if that happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
For
so
sure.
what I'm getting at here is that the world is like so much more complicated than that. And I've been on my trip away from the space, been doing a ton of research into like I've been reading all these atheist books and stuff about how like something came from nothing and about how the world got here from absolutely nothingness. And it just seems insane. Like it seems more insane than an MMO getting created when there's no computer through a tornado. Because like this world is so much more complicated than any MMO. And like the law, like one of the laws of physics is that for every action, like there's a reaction. And like if there's a bang, like there has to be a banger. Like there has to be something to bang. Like stuff does not come from nothing. So I'm like super confident that like there had to be design behind this world. Like there had to be, I mean, it could have, like the design could have been through evolution.
Are we
Like,
even
that
talking
could've
about
been the plan,
blockchains
that
anymore?
Huh?
We're
That
not talking
could've
about
been
blockchains anymore.
No, we are.
Okay, this is blockchain. Okay.
I think it's a strong argument. I think how complicated and difficult it is to make a blockchain game is a strong argument when our world is so much more complicated that like no human could have designed this world. And to think that it could have come about randomly when not even the most like a trillion brilliant minds had made something this complicated is just crazy. I mean, it's a wild statement. It would be a wild belief. So you're right. It's not specifically a take on blockchain gaming, but it's a take from blockchain gaming, if that makes sense.
So thing is very complicated. And so we've come to the conclusion where this random thing will one day come to make the perfect MMORPG that Jake will love. Is this the take? That the likelihood of Jake actually getting the tornado, the super tornado that will come to our planet and assemble the perfect computer with the perfect line of ChatGPT 4 code to assemble the ultimate blockchain gaming experience.
AI will be able to create the ultimate blockchain game.
Maybe. And well, they're already helping with games
the
and coding.
whole point is that we aren't randomly going to get the craziest blockchain game. Like it's going to take design, iteration, years of experience. It's going to take failed games that people learn from and say, this is amazing. It would be so much better if, and then they iterate on that. And then 5 years later, someone else is like, wow, this is amazing, but it would be so much better if. And it's literally going to take decades and decades of iteration. It's going to take minds far more brilliant than my own. It's going to take collaboration from hundreds of different people before we actually get the ultimate decentralized blockchain game. I mean, the person is going to have enough foresight to like truly make it open source in many ways so that it can actually be decentralized. So there's not a central organization that can just like ban your NFTs from the game and all of this. Like to really get the dream to come into reality, like
Okay.
it is going to take so much intelligence and so much iteration that, like, even in this bull cycle, like this bull cycle, we will probably have more good playable games than the last one. This bull cycle is going to be built less on hype than the last bull cycle was, because there is going to be more legitimate, fun experiences.
Right.
People beyond just coin go up. But that said, even this bull cycle is going to be far from the ultimate crypto gaming bull cycle. And there's going to be another bear after however much this bull cycle runs up. Like, there's going to be another bear. And then after that, like, there's going to be another bull cycle where there are even better games than this time. And like,
Right.
you just have to have the long-term mindset. But the problem, especially with the crypto gaming community, is we just have such a short-term, I need money today mindset. But all that said, once again, you think about the iteration that goes into crypto games, and and I just look at this, the real world, like traveling through Vietnam. Dude, Vietnam is crazy. It's beautiful. Like, it's a wild world. Like, freaking, you want to step out of the first world and go to somewhere where it is chaotic and crazy. Like, step into Vietnam. Like, I almost died there. Like, I crashed my motorcycle there. Freaking,
How many car crashes did you have?
Not car crashes. I was motorcycling there. But our group, we had 5 crashes total in Vietnam. Like the first.
Why the fuck are you in Vietnam?
The first 4, because I needed to get out of my bubble, bro. But the first 45 minutes, we hopped on these bikes in Hanoi. We stopped at this place to get pho. And there was like an intersection. Most intersections there don't have lights. Most people, if there are lights, don't even follow them. So this one, and there's like 70% mopeds and motorcycles, like hardly any cars. And this one moped, so we just pulled over on the side to get some pho. Then the light turns red, one of the few intersections with a light. One guy on a moped stops. Another guy on a moped who was planning on not stopping runs into the guy who stopped, flies into the intersection. There's 2 people on this bike. They fly into the intersection, and I think they're probably both drunk or just super shocked, but they get pissed off at the guy who stopped at the red light. They're like, "Why'd you stop at the red light? You made us crash."
So is that like the average meme coin enjoyer? Like, is the average meme coin enjoyer in Hanoi right now on a motorcycle, being drunk and getting into the latest and greatest Roy Boy coins?
Yeah, I don't think you're so focused on staying alive. I don't think they give a crap about cryptocurrency. I mean, yeah. Anyway, they start fist fighting the guy who they made them crash. They almost knock over our bikes. We can't even eat there. We have to leave because they're like literally fist fighting over our bikes and like almost knock over. And it's like almost like dominoes because all our bikes are lined up.
There's a bunch of dominoes. Okay.
Like, yeah, like my friend literally got blood on his bike from them like fighting each other. But like that, it was like the real world is freaking crazy, dude. The real world is insane and it's so complicated, and somehow it all makes sense. Like there's reason and logic behind it all. Like you can analyze the people's minds who are in the situation and like think about their lives, and like they're taking their actions because of the accumulation of everything that led to that moment. And it's just like the complexity of life is insane. It is wild.
And so if it's this complicated, if life is this complicated, and if we're not expecting a blockchain fully decentralized MMO for the next couple decades, because humans apparently aren't capable here, which I think with AI, genetics, and all that kind of stuff, we might be more capable.
It's just going to take.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while.
Than we think.
Yeah. So if this is the case, then why are you getting Mirandus? If we don't even know where the token's going, if we don't know if this game is even going to be remotely decentralized, which it's made by Gala, you know it's going to be centralized. Like, why the heck do we care about MMOs right now? Maybe there's a good reason that people aren't that interested in MMORPGs.
No, that's a really good question. That's a legitimate question for sure. The reason is because I think it's going to be the best that we have for a while. But
there are already coins out there that are over 100 million market cap and already have live MMORPGs.
Yeah, but they're not the same thing that McCarthy's building.
You sure?
Yeah.
I mean, I played the last playtest and it was like, meh. Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah, I mean,
but you can't really see the vision yet.
Maybe I'm wrong. Like there's literally there's a 50% chance I'm wrong for sure. I could totally be wrong about this.
Yeah,
but what I'm not wrong about is that
shit is complicated. Yeah, shit is complicated. that is the thing that we have come up with, that we are mere human beings that cannot fathom reality. But that's fine. That's why we're here talking about blockchain, right? that's why we're here just vibing out in our little hyper niche in our own bubble, talking about random things that inevitably
What are
only
the comments,
matter.
What are the comments saying right now?
Why doesn't he think Pixel's the best MMO? We just won it on a whirlwind tornado of thoughts, and then 2 decades, which I do agree on the 2 decades. He appreciates the honesty early on, which is good. You should be honest. The world is crazy. Nice to see you left your room, which is good. I like gamers leaving their rooms. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm sure that's gonna be good for me. And yeah, poor guy, I feel for him. Just ton of good stuff that you would expect on social media. Is a whole different monster than Pixels. Shut up, Tendies. I've been playing Pixels. I'll play my hyper casual games if I want to play them. Anyway, so screw the MMO topic. We've been talking about it for way too long. Let's talk about something a little bit more exciting for people. Whenever they see this little emoji here, the little fire emoji, it gets them going. It really gets them going. And so I have a question for you, Jake. If the Gala blockchain and the Gala developers are not focused on the token, if they're not focused on speculation, if they don't care about Roy Boys, then why do they keep talking about their token?
Because, okay, dude, you can't make me look. The blurry camera just instantly throws me off. The reason is because they actually do care about the token, and they actually do care about the token price. And the reason that they actually do care. If you're gonna make me big screen, I gotta do this.
Okay, I'll be smaller. I'm sorry.
Okay, the reason that they actually do care is because they I'm pretty sure that like the CEO of Mirandus, Eric, owns like more nodes than anyone. I think he has like 25% of the nodes.
He does, bro. They own, what was it, 14,000 fucking nodes?
He prints, and he also decides the vote. So he's like the one who decided to end the referral system as well, by the way, which is why Gala even had to sponsor us in the first place. I mean, that was the first kind of red flag. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that actually. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm hearing that they might actually bring back referrals because they need players. But anyway,
no shit, because the only thing we have is affiliates on sales with games that are dead right now. They need marketing. I've been saying it this entire damn time. They just need a better marketing helm. I've given them the blueprint is there.
Dude, the reason why Gala blew up, it's not just me. It's like all creators. It's all the people that were telling their friends about it. It's all the people that were spreading the word. And as soon as they felt like, oh, we're good. Look how many players we have. Look how many sales we have. They're like, F everyone who got us to where we were. We're going to do it on our own now. And then they realized, oh, wait, when you just turn your back on everyone who brought you to where you are, it's not going to work out very well. And people are going to, if you turn your back on everyone else and they stop promoting you in the same way, like literally, I have tutorials that are private right now on my channel about like Townstar and different Gala games that have millions of views that are just not public right now. And all the people that I was onboarding, like literally thousands of people a week were getting onboarded by my one how to play Townstar video. Guess what? They're not getting onboarded anymore by that video. And it's like, you can't just turn your back on all of the people that were making your ecosystem work, that were making game developers excited to launch on your ecosystem, and then expect that those game developers are still going to be excited to launch on your ecosystem when the players leave and the creators leave. Like the reason why, and game companies have learned this, the reason why games live for so long, one of the biggest, is because creators that people like watching are playing it every single day. Like you hop on Twitch and you see your favorite creators still playing League of Legends, and it makes you go, man, I haven't played League of Legends in a couple of years, but maybe I should hop back on that ish again. Like freaking Double Lift still looks like he's having a good time there. Like it is content creators that continue pushing people back to games and like increase the longevity of video games far beyond what people thought was possible before there was a creator ecosystem. Like creators are needed for any ecosystem to live. And when your most excited supporters, like my first 50 videos about Gala were unsponsored because I was just hyped about Mirandus. And I mean, also because there was I'm not going to lie, the freaking node referral system as well got me pretty hyped. And like, I really believed in it and bought 2 of my own nodes and freaking bought a node for my brother. And the sound engineer also bought a node. Like I wasn't just pumping this to make money. I actually believed I was pumping something that was going to give people a return on investment, which even just saying that right now would make me lose my partnership right now if I was still a partner, because, you know, they're not trying to, they don't know what the rules are right now. But anyway, I was trying to get people to buy something that I thought was good. And it was a win-win because I'm like, this is good for them. And I do think most people that bought nodes, especially early on, have way more than gotten their return on investment. So I think I was right about that, but it was like a win-win because now also I can support myself full-time as a creator in this Gala crypto economy. So it was like Gala, and it was like a triple win too, because then Gala made money from everyone who was buying nodes. So my early supporters, they get to buy this awesome thing that's going to print for them. I get to all of a sudden turn into a full-time content creator, hire employees, make super quality content, actually have cameras that are in focus because I have freaking people who know what they're doing helping me create my content. Gala gets funded. It's like this crazy epic ecosystem. And then as soon as Gala's like, we have enough players, we have enough supporters, they freaking cancel it. Like something that I thought was on the blockchain. Like I was going to be getting this 10% kickback for as long as the blockchain has existed. And they're like, oh, actually, you know what? This is a centralized ecosystem. And we have like enough vote ourselves to pretty much do whatever we want. And we don't want you guys anymore. And then they realize, hey, that's not good. Where did all our players go? Where did all our content creators go? How come no one's hyped for these games in the same way? Like, oh yeah, maybe it's because you turned your back on your community. So I hope they undo that wrong. I really do. If they undid that wrong, I would instantly make hundreds of videos about Gala Public again, because they would be undoing the first red flag that I ever saw. I would literally publicly make a video thanking Bitbender for at least supporting creators for now. I mean, hopefully they learn from their lesson and freaking in this next bull market, they're like, oh, look, we're starting to get freaking users again. People are creating content about us again. And then they end it again. They're just like, we're fine now. Like, hopefully they don't do that. But yeah, I mean, like, when you have a win-win-win situation, don't freaking end it and then expect that everything's going to continue turning out great, because it's not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, it was pretty similar. We made free content for Gala until early 2023, probably like the end when Spider Tanks was doing their first sponsored integration. And I mean, I don't even know people got paid through the referral program. To be honest, the only reason I covered it was because I covered Axie Infinity back in the day. I quit after I made my, like, why I left and sold my Axies, blah, blah, blah. Lost my passion in the space. And then came back, kind of like you, like 3 to 6 months later because of Spider Tanks. I loved MOBAs. I was Challenger in League. I was hyper obsessed on the meta, and I was waiting for something to be excited about. Spider Tanks was that, and you can imagine what happened when Spider Tanks ended up leaving and getting into this dispute. I still have really good relations with the Spider Tanks development team because they respect content creators. Content creators are the lifeblood of an ecosystem. They don't understand how important they are. And when you left, Jake, shit got really dark within the content creation space on Gala Games. I specifically, I mean, I was number 2, right? So instantly it became number 1. And I had to pressure Gala for God knows how long to get CJ working, to get the affiliate stuff working. And then after that, I was trying over and over to do campaigns. I know we did Spider Tanks tournaments. And the way we ended up making that work is Gala said no, essentially. And then we went to community gaming, got a grant, and then we're like, okay, now we have hype on it. Just give us like $500. And they're like, okay, sure. And I know they have a lot more money than $500, but I was happy to at least get something going because I can.
Wait, you can keep going in a second. But when they ended the partnership with us, they decided to just burn $1 million on YouTube ads.
They did on the Spider Tanks fucking ads, and they were saying that they were spending $100 per user. I was like, what? People don't understand how crazy absurd that is, especially. Why the hell are you spending $1 million on ads for a game that is supposed to be a mobile game? Get the mobile component out and then think about making that $1 million ad integration. In the meantime, we were destroying all metrics Gala had ever had other than Townstar on Spider Tanks. We were doing streams consistently, not being paid for that, by the way. We were doing that for free, practically. Affiliate commission, I guess, right? But let's be honest, the affiliate commission didn't really matter at that point because there just weren't a lot of users in the Gala Games ecosystem. No, so we were out there and we were grinding hard, and it was just me because none of the other content creators could pay their rent with the affiliate commission or anything within Gala. And so we have this $1 billion ecosystem. Jake, hold on. We have this $1 billion ecosystem that has God knows how many games and God knows how many developers and 400 employees, and yet they don't give a flying fuck about the community and the content creators within. And I'm like, holy shit, like maybe we can change this. Maybe there are campaigns, but they would always be one-off campaigns after you left because they're too scared to pay content creators on retainers because of legal reasons, all these different things. And I'm like, I'm more than happy to make just gaming content if there is an ecosystem surrounding it. Recently, Heroes of Mavia came out. Did I make a video talking about how the Mavia token was going to 300x in 2 days? No, I made a video like you, a beginner's guide, because I enjoyed the game. I'm still playing the game and I'm having a fun time. That is what matters. Content creators just want to do that, but right now that's not possible because these ecosystems just aren't big enough and they don't have the resources given to creators for specific tasks. For example, we don't get money on referring users to a game. We get money on users paying for something to get an NFT on the Gala ecosystem. And it's like, I never in my videos was like, yeah, you know, this NFT is gonna 10x. We didn't do that. We were just like, I mean, I guess I have to make a living. And, you know, at that time, like, we were having trouble paying rent. Like, it was that bad in the Gala ecosystem. So I'm really happy I went chain agnostic. I think that what these companies need to learn, and they need to be humble, to be honest, is that we aren't just going to be covering your ecosystem anymore. It's simply put, I don't care what Gala ends up doing. I don't care if they offer me $1 million or whatever the hell it is. At this point, I think they need to learn that content creators have the power to go wherever the hell they want, and wherever we go, we will be successful. I've had millions of dollars worth of sales on projects that have done very, very well. Jake, you've done very well on your channel, and like, let's be honest, you had a bit of a hump after everybody and your perspective of Gala and your passion waned and all these different things. Like, you probably did things that you didn't want to do, but at the end of the day, like, shit happens. These companies, they fumble all the time. They need to learn to be valued. Last month, for example, we got a collab manager, Jave. I love him. And there were a ton of different brands out there doing free mints with FCFS. It's called first come, first serve. And what that meant was you're the first come, first serve on this mint and you might get it. But at the end of the day, they were always over allocated. Nobody would ever get it. And they were a complete waste of time for not only the content creators, but for the community involved. So we all said, F it, we're not taking FCFS anymore. All the big content creators rallied together. We said, we're only doing guarantees. I don't care what you're coming up with. And they paper-handed. They are all offering guarantees because they need to understand that the people and the content creators, because content creators are just elevated people, let's be honest, that are empowered by other people, are the vital components of an ecosystem. And that's how it is. And also, don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just I feel like one thing that's very true. One thing that is very true, and everyone who's watching this needs to keep this in mind, is that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And it's very easy when you're sitting on your couch not doing anything, when you're just like in American society. We love to be outside the game and make fun of people that are in the game. Make fun of people that are actually trying when they mess up, especially when people get successful. Like, we like rooting for the underdog. And then as soon as you become the top, people start rooting. A certain percentage of people start rooting for you to fall. And that's the truth of it. However, the other side of it is when you are in the game. And the reason I just made that caveat is because I think for people that aren't in the game, this can be hard to understand. But power does corrupt. Like, I know a lot of people loved BitBoy Crypto, and I'm not trying to point out BitBoy Crypto because he's the same as all of us. But when he starts getting offered, you know, $100,000 per video sponsorship deals, or like, and he starts bringing in millions of dollars, and then you like bring on a team. So now he brings on a team. So it's like, man, if I don't accept this sponsorship deal, it's like, now it's not only me, like maybe I'm being selfish not to accept this sponsorship deal. Like, that's how twisted it can get in your mind, because now I have a team that I'm supporting, and like, they're relying on me to accept these sponsorship deals and to make all of this money because I'm supposed to pay them. So like, you can start like twisting the stuff in your mind as well. But like, a lot of people, like, it's really easy when you're an artist that has no viewers to say, I am never going to sell out. And it's like, bruh, no one's offering you anything. Like, you say I'm never going to sell out when someone offers you $1 million contract, or
you're going to sell out.
Yeah. Or like Gala, I think very fairly, for the value that we were providing, was paying Onchain Gaming $20,000 a month, which is $240,000 a year. And for those of you guys who are sitting on the couch, you might be like, that's insane. Like, there's no way they should be doing that. But we literally sold, like,
over $7 million worth of nodes if you count the founders nodes and then future node sales after that. So $240,000 a year, when we made over $7 million in direct commission sales to them, is almost nothing. And that's partly why when like Bitbender and I have not talked since our whole relationship ended, and I made a tweet saying that like if Bitbender and I got a beer, like we could work this out in a single evening over a beer and get back on the same page. And he was like, no, F you, like you've been doing nothing but like, he is angry at me because of a lot of the, I think, honest red flags that I should bring it up, but I did start focusing almost entirely on the negatives because I was hurt and feeling like backstabbed, and I did not handle the situation in the best way for sure. But like he was saying I was in it for just the money and it was only about greed. It's like I literally, like I had to fire two of both my employees. I had to fire both of them. I had 8 part-time employees that were working on alternate language channels in different countries that were all making money through this. I had to let all of them go as well. And like asking for $240,000 when I know how many millions of dollars I've raised for them. And like, I don't expect to get all of that money back, right? Like 80% of that, like it's their money, but like $240,000 compared to 7 million or something is almost nothing. And the fact that like, none of this would have even mattered if they just kept the original referral program going, because I would have been able to keep my team this entire time through this whole bear market is just like, it was like backstab. And it's like, okay, we're going to support you. Even though this ended, we know you provide value to us, so we're going to support you. And then actually, we're not going to support you. So it was like broken promise. And like I said, you have to remember, this is how I started this whole rant. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And one of the issues when you're being corrupted, like when your own heart is being corrupted, it's a lot easier for people on the outside looking in to see how you're changing than it is for you on the inside. Because when you're looking at yourself, especially without like good friends around you who can tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And I believe too, like the spirit of God, like softening your heart in a lot of ways, because we love to rationalize things. Like we rationalize our own issues away. We rationalize our own wrongdoings away. And then we want to blame others for their wrongdoings. Like we judge others based on their actions. We judge ourselves based on our intentions. And it's just, it's so twisted and wrong that as a content creator, it's like obviously we want the support, and like seeing all the negative comments, it really hurt me. It's one of the reasons why I stepped away. But in one sense, like maybe it was good. Like it's good to think about, wait, am I actually an asshole? Like, am I actually doing this completely for my own gain? Like, do I actually not care about anyone else? Like those are legit questions that, especially as you start to get in power, you should be asking yourself more and more often. Like you should, as a content creator, be holding yourself more and more accountable the more influence that you have. And you should be harder and harder on yourself the more influence you have. So then taking this now one step higher from us content creators to Gala Games themselves, because Gala now has far more power than us content creators. Someone like Eric Schurmeyer, the CEO of Gala Games, who has 25% plus of the node vote control, who's literally running this organization and has the say yes or no on every single decision that Gala Games makes, who's seeing literally the $7 million that I raised was peanuts compared to the total amount of revenue that Gala was bringing in during the bull market. Like if my tiny little bit of power, making 6 digits as a content creator, was getting to my head and corrupting me in these small ways, imagine when you're running an organization that's maybe bringing in over $100 million. They could have even been approaching the $1 billion mark. Maybe they even hit $1 billion in a single year back in 2021. Like at that stage, when like you can make a small change, and for Eric, like that probably increases his monthly income, like kicking out all the referrals probably increases his monthly income by millions of dollars per month. Like you can start to kind of relate to them a little bit. Like when you look at like, you can look at your own selfishness just on an everyday level. Like as a kid, like that's my spoon. What? Like if you had siblings, that's my spoon. You're using my spoon. It's like a freaking spoon, bro. It doesn't matter. And like that same selfishness follows us throughout our whole life. And the stakes get higher. It's no longer about a spoon. The stakes get higher though. And when I see my own corruption, my own issues, as I'm growing my own tiny little minuscule influence, it's like I have 100% forgiven Gala. Like I cannot imagine being in their same situation, and I cannot promise that I would not have made some of the same exact mistakes that they made if I was in their situation, looking at all the data and facts that they were looking at, starting to feel too confident in myself, as oftentimes we do in the midst of success. We need to have grace towards everyone. Like we need to have grace towards everyone, because it is so much harder to see our own issues and our own mistakes than it is to point the finger at other people. And it's why in our society, we love trying to cancel people. We love focusing on other people's issues, because then we don't have to think about our own issues. But the fact is that every single one of us is a sinner. And I'm gonna bring this to God, and that's gonna make some of you uncomfortable. But I think that if there is a God, which I believe there is, and He is perfect, which I believe He is, then we fall so far short of that if you hope to spend eternity with God, He is going to need to have so much grace towards you that the least that we can do is have a little bit of grace toward each other. And that's my kind of conclusion here. Like we need to forgive each other, because if we're going to have any hope, like we need so much forgiveness toward ourselves. And I think that sort of mindset would make this entire world so much better.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in that regard. You can see the perspective on why they'd be as greedy as they are, given the success that they have, and why would they care about content creators when realistically they've already made their money, they've already made their billions, they've already shown levels of success. And that was a big problem that I felt like Axie had back in 2021 as well, where they were hyper growth phase, they weren't caring about anybody else except just making sure that Ron went out. And then I think over the course of the bear market, they kind of learned that they needed to give value to other people as well, open their horizons, and even with their release of Axie Homeland, you know, they kind of flopped there and they realized that they flopped. Being self-aware is hard. Most people are not self-aware. Even if you're self-aware, there is like a level of awareness that is just hard to achieve, let's just say, unless you're on some other stuff. So where I'm at in terms of Gala is I'm cool with Gala. I don't really care, right? At the end of the day, they're a company. The companies don't want to work with someone, that's fine. We're doing very well on our own. And, you know, when Jake went and talked about how he was like, oh, we got 240K, and everybody was memeing on Twitter about how I wished I made 240K. It's like, if only you knew. If only you knew how much some of us were making on some of our roles. And a lot of it just isn't content creation. Some of it is advisory. Some of it is business development. Some of it is angel investing. It's complicated. There's a lot of different things people do to give people value. And I would say within value, I mean, we gave Gala a lot of money, you know, and we gave a lot of companies a lot of value. So some of them will value, some of them won't. But as long as you treat it like a business, it's a business, you know, like they're always going to be in that perspective. If you're going out there and you're mad at Gala for flopping because they're greedy, well, it's kind of on you for staying. And that's why I kind of like bringing it back to the Jake thing and Moranis. It's like, I love McCarthy. I love all that stuff. But if a company's flopping and they're showing that they don't have any value to accrue toward you, they don't just care about you in general, why stay? That's always been my thing with every company. Axie and Theta Arena and Gala. It hasn't been that many companies. A lot of companies are nice. But the ones that have been unfaithful, pretty much, they're the guys that I just don't cover anymore. And I think it's important people understand that you don't need to stick to an ecosystem to make it. There's too many people that tell people that they need to stick to one thing, and that's the only thing they need to stick to, and you need to hyperanalyze everything that person does. You don't need to do that. If someone is treating you poorly, there's a reason that domestic abuse is such a problem. People need to get out there and value themselves. If someone's not treating you right, you shouldn't be there. There's so many damn crypto gaming coins out there to the point where I would go as far as to say, don't have your bags on most of them, but just have your bags temporarily on some of them and be like, okay, maybe I'll sprinkle it in there. Maybe I'll meet community members in this place, but don't just become hyper loyal because you meet a buddy on this ecosystem. You put it as your PFP and all of a sudden all your clout is coming from there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you as a human are self-aware of what the company is doing, what the founder is doing, why they're making the moves that they're making. And that's why tokenomics most of the time do not matter. Most of the time VC unlocks don't matter. Most of the time, a lot of these catalysts that people fundamentally analyze in the stock market don't matter in crypto, because we don't have the same level of regulation in crypto versus the stock market. A lot of it, you just throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. If the founder is here to make shit work and they understand how the people want to be treated, it's going to work out. If they don't get it, it's just not going to work out. It's as simple as a yes or no. So I think people, you gotta be more independent. You gotta get out there. You gotta understand that you gotta play the game for the game. And the game right now is quite a bit dishonest. It's quite a bit dishonest. And the further we get from that is probably going to equate to the bull market. You're going to begin to realize that these founders are going to get cockier and cockier, and they're going to stop listening to people again. Back then, when you left, Jake, people were doing this big narrative where the games were the only thing that mattered, and the tokens were secondary. And then nowadays, everybody's talking about IDOs, ICOs, IGOs, whatever the heck you want to call them. And that's all they're caring about, because they're getting paid the big sponsor dollars, losing touch with their communities. It's a big reason I ended up launching Legion. I didn't have to launch Legion. I could have easily just kept farming sponsor dollars. But it's like, if you launch Legion, you're giving value to your community. Your community is getting mutual benefit. It's a win-win situation. Like you said, don't ruin win-win situations, because your community is incentivized. They're very happy with you. They're helping you out, and you're helping them out. It's just like, I don't understand why all these crypto gaming companies don't get the fact that if you work with the people that are helping you, you're going to do better. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's always been my problem. You know, I think we all had our little schizo phase in the bear market, so it kind of is what it is. We forgive you, but it's been a nice hour. I don't know if you wanted to talk about anything else Web3 gaming related.
I mean, do you have a hard out? Because I'm down keeping this going for a while longer if you want.
Okay, I'm good for like 20-30 minutes more.
Okay. Well, there's one more thing that I want to make sure I say. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people made fun of me for this, because like I posted a video, and it was like the most recent video on my channel for like 5 months.
Oh, the one with the church, right?
Yeah. Like the church needs to wake up. So I did have a legitimate like come to Jesus moment. Like I grew up as a missionary kid, right? So like my growing up was so different than most people. Like we would literally have like homeless people like sleeping in tents in our backyard, or like once we got to know them, like sleeping on our couch. Like there were days where we literally served 500 people food out our side door. Like I was homeschooled as well, so like my parents would bring me to like the mission building, and like I would be doing homework on the floor while they're like praying for people and stuff. And like we would do house church in our house. I distinctly remember this one moment when this lady sat down on what was one of my favorite chairs in our house, and after she sat down, a literal roach crawled out of her purse into the couch. And I literally, as a kid, was so like freaked out by that I did not sit in that chair for like months after that. But like that's the sort of upbringing that I had, where my parents were far from perfect, and they had a lot of relationship issues, but they were trying to truly live out what they believed was most valuable, which was loving their neighbor as theirself and stuff like that. But I fell so far away from that in my pursuit of money that after I moved to Texas during COVID, in order to escape California taxes, like I had a period where I was creating content, and I don't know if you guys know this, but like I was literally high every single video that I was recording. Like I was getting high every single day for like 6 years. Like I was struggling with alcoholism as well. Like I was drinking and smoking. Like I was getting crossfaded in the mornings. Like because like what was the point of life? Like really, like what was I living for? I wasn't really living for anything except for the exact moment that I was in and whatever pleasure that I could potentially get. So it was weed, it was pornography, it was alcohol, and then it was making YouTube videos to bring in that cash. And I was hit like really hard in the crash. Like my stock portfolio, because I was super leveraged, I lost like, there was 1 month where I lost 80%. My portfolio dropped like $1.7 million. Okay, it wasn't a month. It was like in a 3-month period, but it was insane. And I lost my Gala sponsor a little bit after that. So all of a sudden my wealth was gone. My income was gone. All of the amount of like self-respect that I had for myself, which was based completely on the fact that I had a few employees and like I was helping some people economically, that was gone because I had to let those people go. And I literally just fell on my knees and I was like, God, what have I been living for? Like all of this is superficial. Like all of this is can be taken away from you instantly. And if your hope is in anything that can be taken away from you at a moment's notice, like your hope is on sandy ground. Like it is on very unstable ground because none of us know what's going to happen in the future. Like China could invade Taiwan and the US could decide to defend it. And all of a sudden we could be in World War III. It's like that sort of stuff can happen and instantly the whole world can change. So what your hope is in really matters. So I had a moment, when I stepped away where I was like really seeking, like, what's the point of life? Like, why am I here? Like, why does any of this exist? Like, I can't keep living like this. And I turned back to God and I read a ton of atheist books, trust me, because I wanted to know what are the best arguments against the existence of God. And then I started reading like a bunch of these, just grab them here. A bunch of these other books. Like there's this book on that I'm reading by N.T. Wright. And these are like thick books, like 800 pages, like academic works on like the evidence for the resurrection of Jesus or, arguments for like the New Testament being eyewitness testimony, like that the Bible is trustworthy. And like I started doing a ton of this research, and I just really did have a come to Jesus moment where I'm like, all of this is passing away. Like the end of every man is death. The end of every single one of us is death. It's where we're all headed. And the living should take this to heart. And if there is a God, like if we were made, which I believe, then there is so much more to live for. If we are truly like, I believe I'm a sojourner on this earth, which just like, it means that like I believe this world, this earth is not my home. And all of a sudden that brought so much more hope to me. And I believe that my faith is based on legitimate evidence as well. But then I went on this trip to Asia, and I went to Hong Kong, Japan, Vietnam. And during this trip, I'm going to be honest, I stopped reading my Bible as much, like especially motorcycling through Vietnam. Like we were waking up early, we were getting to the destinations late. Like there just really wasn't that much time. And now I've been back for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. And the first 2 weeks I was back, I didn't open my Bible at all. Like all of a sudden I started falling back into a lot of my same habits that I was in prior. Like I started drinking again. I started going back to porn again. And it was not good. It was not good. So in this moment, I also started making my plan for on-chain gaming again, where I'm like, I need to have a purpose somehow. So like I created this list. I have this whole game plan of like viral videos that I'm going to launch, like literally 25 video titles I know will all have the potential to go viral, like 100,000 views plus. That's viral for a crypto gaming channel, at least right now. And I also started making this plan for like this course I'm going to sell. It's like I can sell it for $900 per person. I sell like 11 or 1200. Like I know where my next $1 million is coming from. And then yesterday I got smacked in the face by God again. So I woke up super excited yesterday morning. I set my alarm for 9:30 and I woke up at 5 a.m. because I was so excited to start recording the videos for my lesson course that I want to sell. But beforehand, I'm like, I should check this off the list. I should spend a little bit of time reading the Bible. And I was like, what should I read? I don't really know what I should read. And then I was laying in bed still and I fell asleep for a second. And I instantly had this dream where I was surrounded by a crowd of people and they were all screaming, Isaiah, Isaiah, Isaiah. So I woke back up from that. I'm like, well, I guess I should read Isaiah. So I turned to Isaiah 30. It's just where I turned to. And this is what it says. I'm just going to read like literally 3 verses here. So hopefully you guys don't turn off by this, but it says, "Ah, stubborn children, declares the Lord, who carry out a plan, but not mine, who make an alliance, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, who set out to go down to Egypt without asking for my direction, to take refuge in the protection of Pharaoh and to seek shelter in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the protection of Pharaoh turn to your shame and the shelter of the shadow of Egypt to your humiliation." And I took Egypt and Pharaoh just to mean like power and wealth, which is really what that meant to Egypt back when this was written, is Egypt and Pharaoh represented power and wealth. And really, after getting back from my trip, deciding to relaunch Onchain Gaming, making this whole game plan about how I'm going to make my next $1 million. And I really think I will make that money if I continue in this game plan. But yesterday I woke up and I feel like God literally led me to this passage where he was like, bro, you did not pray to me about this. You did not seek me in this. You have not been spending your time in your word since getting back on your trip. And all of a sudden now you have a plan to make $1 million, but you don't like, you really are going to go with your own plan rather than my plan when I created the entire universe and know the end from the beginning. Like, you need to follow my plan. So literally yesterday, I was so angry at God that he just like threw this like wrench in my plan. He just like ruined it almost. He was just like, your plan is terrible. You did not seek me before you came up with this plan. That yesterday, I literally did not get out of bed all day. I was literally like, I'm not going to lie, I was cussing at God. I was angry at him. And guess what that revealed to me? That all of a sudden, all of my heart's desires were wrong once again. All of a sudden, I started valuing wealth as number one again. I was valuing my own pleasure as number one again. I was valuing the things that the world values again. I was taking this world as my home again. And it's like God literally visited the earth 2,000 years ago. I really believe that. And his resurrection from the dead, like, proved that he was who he said he was, because God wouldn't raise a heretic from the dead. Like, that just wouldn't happen. So if he actually raised from the dead, like, this is all true. And yeah, yesterday I had to work through a lot of stuff. So this morning I literally woke up and I'm like, should I still do this interview? Like, should I, am I going to make all these clickbait videos that I wrote down on my phone before I even did the research for any of them? Because I know they're going to get clicked. Like, am I really going to try to get $1 million out of my supporters by selling a course, which I really do think would provide value to people? But it's like, in what? It would provide value towards things that are meaningless and are going to die away. And it would really be for my own benefit that I'm doing it, even though I hope others get benefit out of it. The main objective would be my own benefit. So like literally today already, and yesterday after I read that, I've been wrestling with like, should I actually be relaunching on-chain gaming, or should I be starting a channel? I did start a channel called Unworthy Servant.
You should probably do that. Yeah. It seems like you're a lot more passionate about that than material goods. Yeah.
And I think crypto gaming is still awesome. I really do think crypto gaming is still awesome and it's still the future of gaming, but it's like, I think it's just so much less important than where we're all headed forever. Like if there's actually a God, like we're here for 60 years, 80 years, 100 years. Like, that is so short compared to like eternity, something that you can't even imagine. Like, we're here today and gone tomorrow. Like, most of the people that have ever, well, there's a lot of population, but like everyone's headed to death. And we should just all keep that in mind and think about like what actually does matter. So I'm definitely going to be, I think, focusing on Unworthy Servant as my main focus. I think it needs to be my main focus. I think it is what truly matters. And that is going to mean that there's less viral videos posted to on-chain gaming. It's going to mean that I'm not going to be spending 8 hours a day researching crypto games like I was before. Like, I want to spend time in the word. I want to spend time in prayer. I want to spend time with community. I want to spend time thinking about things that are eternal. So yeah, I was so excited for this plan, bro. I was like, man, we're headed into the next bull market. Like, I'm about to make so much money. And then God just smacked me upside the head and was like, you did not seek me for this plan. And this plan is going to turn to your humiliation. And I was like, I could see how that could happen. If I make all these clickbait videos that I wrote down again about how all these coins are going to 100x and like, this is going to be the next 10,000x project. And like, I was writing down stupid video ideas. Stupid, as in they would have got lots of views, but they are just like not valuing my community. So I'm glad God smacked me upside the head again. So I need to do a lot more praying. I need to do a lot more seeking. I need to make sure that my heart is valuing what actually matters. And yeah, thanks for letting me talk about this. I know that like it might offend a lot of people. Like, a lot of people do get offended by the idea of God and that sort of thing. But I actually think it's true. Like, I am very confident it's true. And I've done so much research into this. And I've experienced God as well. And I know that like that personal experience can't be verified, but you can have those experiences yourself if you seek God with your whole heart. So Yeah,
I think
that's
it's important
where
to
I
get your
am.
perspective out there. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
where
You're
I
all
am,
over the
man.
place right now, you know? But that's kind of what it is, right? Like you're on a journey of self-discovery. You know, you got back on some of the bad habits, got you back into crypto. So clearly, I think your heart's not in crypto gaming, probably, right? Like I think a lot of the reason that we got into crypto gaming initially was greed. Some people don't understand how much money we leave on the table. Sometimes if we went through the immoral path and just took all the sales and sponsorships and all these different things, we would have money beyond belief. But the problem is, like, it doesn't value people. It doesn't give actual value to people. I remember back when I was in my lunk days in DeFi, I make like, oh, this is going to 100x in 2 days, or like this is going to happen in X amount of time. And you know, those always get a ton of views. They do very well. But at one point I realized nobody was really getting anything out of this. And there was no real point in what I was doing. Why was I doing it? So I kind of went through a similar moment, obviously, you know, not religious related, but a little bit more just me related, where during 3XP, which was a crypto gaming event back in June, I went to it and I had realized that a lot of people were very passionate about the games that they were playing. And obviously, you know, there's different incentives for different things, but I was playing a ton of the games. I was on stage, I was casting to 10,000 people and all these different things. And I was like, I feel like I can actually have an impact in this sector, in this very underserved niche of crypto gaming coins and tokens and gameplay and all these different things to affect people's lives in hopefully what is to be a positive way. So I left the DeFi channel, even though it was like 3 times the size. I'm sure I could have done much better, but some people need to understand that there's a lot more to life than just money. Purpose drives money. That's how it works. Purpose, passion equals wealth. That's how it works. And if like you're not fully sold on the idea of, you know, these top 25 viral ideas are going to make me rich, if that's not valuable to you, first off, you're probably not going to put your heart into it, which it means it's not going to go as viral as you think it's going to go. And the third thing is like, you should double down on what you want to do, dude, because you have the time for it. You have the time for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, yeah, man, it feels so bad to like to give up what I built on on-chain gaming though. So I don't want to abandon it completely. So I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But this path that I had decided to go on, where like literally like back to like daily videos and like all these viral ideas and like making titles I know are gonna get clicks, even though they might not be completely balanced or accurate, just because I know people are gonna click them, like all of that, like I'm not gonna do that. Which means it literally means I am choosing for my channel to do worse. And I think that if this world is all that there is, I'm making the wrong decision. But if this world is not all that there is, if there is something more to life than just wealth and money and even our own happiness over the 80 years that we're on this earth, then I'm making the right decision. So I'll probably make a video talking about my Unworthy Servant channel. But I think for now I got everything off my chest that I wanted to get off my chest. So
welcome back, my friend. It's going to be a turbulent couple months, but hopefully your channel goes well. So what is it called again?
Unworthy Servant.
Unworthy Servants. So you know where Jake is going, my friends. Follow regardless of being crypto. We got some followers out here. Big shout out to them. Hopefully that ends up becoming something worthy. I know that there was another content creator that ended up doing something similar. He was called Gideon. I'm sure you know about him, right? Gideon, he did a bunch of prank stuff on his channel. He was messing with people all the time. And then at one point he said, screw it, I'm just going to be a pastor, pretty much, right? And so he went down that journey and he's done pretty well. He has a lot of supporters as well. So I'm sure, like, if you're honest with people about what you just told me, that people will understand. What I think the problem was back then was that people were only thinking of that greed mindset of like, oh, he's just saying this because he wants to take advantage of us with this course, etc., which I think is a big problem. A lot of people have distrust in that kind of stuff. So I think it's good to be kind of straight shooter, honest with your approach, and I'm sure you're going to do good in the future. And respect for coming back, for sure.
Yeah, and maybe I'll still make all the videos in that course and just literally post them for free on the channel, because I do think they would provide actual value.
Yeah.
But I don't think money should be my focus, because I don't think money's actually that important. Like, I have all my needs met. And yeah, sure, I would like to be able to have a team and like hire my brothers again, and like all of that would be super freaking cool. But it's like they're going to be fine too. And maybe they have lessons that they need to learn by working on their own as well. And it's like we just, as humans, we see. Sorry, this blurry camera is freaking messing with me so much still. As humans, we see so little of the perspective. Like we are so much more small-minded than we even know that like if there's a creator of the universe, which I think there is, not following his plan is literally the most foolish thing that you could do because he knows everything and we know almost nothing. And I think I have to trust him. I have to trust him. It's the only reasonable thing I can do based off of the beliefs that I've come to, based off of all of the research that I've done and the experiences that I've had. So
time to go to Vietnam, I think, is the learning here. we all need a break. We need to go to fucking Vietnam and have that enlightenment moment. That's cool. That's dope. It was nice to have a chat with you, Jake. I do kind of have a hard stop here at 1:30, but
sounds good.
I think it's good to have people, know about what you're up to. And hopefully this ends up being more impactful than what crypto gaming was for you.
Honestly, I really appreciate being able to talk to you today. Like being able to do this kind of with someone else and like a little bit of back and forth is super helpful because like filming some videos on your own, like it's just great. You're just like going on your rant, you know what you're going to say. But sometimes like, especially when you're talking about stuff like this, like it's hard to know. And like how are people taking this? So like just even being able to like talk to you and like see your face in this and like knowing like I know that you don't share a lot of the same views that I'm sharing here, but just like knowing like hey, like that sounds reasonable. Like I know where you're coming from.
I'm so open to hearing you out. Yeah,
exactly. Like that actually that helps me a lot with just being able to talk about this kind of thing. So thanks for giving me this platform.
Of course. Always. That's the entire purpose of our channel, right? To give people a voice that deserve a voice. So it was a pleasure, my friends. Y'all know what to do. Till the next time. Stay classy, y'all. Wait, what was it? Do you have the on-chain gaming thing still? The dum 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 dum.
No, so my sound engineer, I didn't make him sign something that said all the work that you do for on-chain.
No, he took it.
Yeah, so he wants me to buy it from him if I want to use it.
He's an asshole. What? Oh god. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. You'll get something else done. You get a cool church one done and hype it up, boys. Something on the TV. All right, boys. I'll see you later. Stay classy. And that's it.
Bye.